Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again. In this YouTube NFL prediction segment, I'm going to be giving you my picks and analysis for Week 10 of the 2018 NFL season. Now, anyway, first up, as far as first game is going to be, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers at home over the Carolina Panthers. Pittsburgh right now has been on a rampage. They've won 4 consecutive. Running back James Conner, people may be saying Le'Veon who right now. James Conner is 706 rushing yards. He's number 2 in the NFL in rushing yards. It seems like Pittsburgh's doing just fine without Le'Veon Bell. You look at Carolina right now, they've been on a little bit of a roll themselves. They've won 3 consecutive games, but they are in a short week. They're just 1-2 on the road this season. Their offense, has really been on a roll. They have scored like 99 points in the last 9 quarters or so of play. This should be a very competitive matchup. I just like the way the Steelers are playing right now, the cohesion, and again, given the fact, coupled with the fact that Carolina is going on the road in a short week, and you got to look at the home team being favored, especially when as far as a personnel standpoint, they're at least equal to Carolina right now. So I'm going to take the Steelers at home. Well, next game, I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears at home over the Detroit Lions. Chicago's coming off you could say it was a good win by the score. They annihilated Buffalo, but a lot of teams seem to be doing that lately. But Chicago, number 5 in scoring offense. You hear about the defense with Khalil Mack, but the scoring offense, they're averaging about 29 points per game right now, the Chicago Bears. And you look at the Detroit Lions, they've lost a couple in a row. They've just scored 23 points in that span. They're averaging like 22.5 points per game right now. You always have got a chance in the game with Matt Stafford, and I'm sure the cornerbacks, including Darius Slay, can make this tough on the Chicago receivers. But just given the way Chicago is playing right now, and their offense looks a little bit better right now than the Detroit Lions, and being at home, I'm going to take the Bears in this one. Next game, I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints on the road to defeat the Cincinnati Bengals. I've gone against the New Orleans Saints for 3 consecutive weeks, and I've been wrong every single time. I'm going to try to make sure I'm not going to be wrong this week, hopefully. Saints right now with quarterback Drew Brees playing lights out, completing 76% of the passes. They've won 7 consecutive games, a flawless 4-0 road record right now. And you look at Cincinnati, okay, they're coming off bye week. They are their offense is not terrible, but they're going to be without A.J. Green in this one. That's going to play an integral role in the outcome of this game, I believe. Cincinnati is dead last in passing yards allowed per game. I think it's going to allow the Saints to be driving down the field practically at will. I see a lot of sustained drives by the New Orleans Saints, and I see a lot of points scored by them in this game as well. So I'm going to take the Saints to win this one on the road. Next game, I want to take the Atlanta Falcons to win on the road over the Cleveland Browns. Atlanta's got their swagger back a little. They've won 3 consecutive games. Quarterback Matt Ryan, of course, is really one of the standout quarterbacks in the NFL. He's taken some heat for not having a Super Bowl victory, but it doesn't take away from his greatness as a player. It does not diminish that to me at all. Julio Jones got his first touchdown last week. Perhaps that's a good harbinger of things to come. You look at the Cleveland Browns now, they have some good things going for them. Their defense is opportunistic. They give up a ton of points. They give up about 27 per game. But Cleveland has 23 takeaways, plus 11 in turnover differential. And also, revamped coaching staff, but unfortunately the same results. I really don't think this coaching staff is really necessarily going to rejuvenate or revive this team anytime soon. They still need to make some kind of changes or modifications on this team in order to be consistently competitive. They may be a little bit better than they were last season, but I don't think they're good enough to beat an Atlanta Falcons team right now that is rejuvenated and is playing their best football, I believe, right now at this point of the season. I'm going to take the Falcons on the road. Next game. I'm going to take the New England Patriots to win on the road against Tennessee Titans. Don't be flabbergasted or be in a state of shock, people. New England has won 6 consecutive games. They've won 7 straight against the Titans and 8 of the last 9 against them. Saying they've dominated the series with the Titans would probably be a vast understatement. As far as the Titans go, they have some glimmer of hope given, you're talking about, the fact they were blown out last season, as many of you may know, in the playoffs against New England. That was on the road, though. They will be at home, of course, in this one, seeking retribution. And they're also, team right now, Tennessee is surreptitiously, I would say, made it to the #1 spot in the NFL in scoring defense. I'm very surprised by that. They have a little swagger after getting that win last week against Dallas. But, they're not going to be putting up 28 points, against the Dallas Cowboys. This is going to be a more daunting task to try to score that many against New England. And they're probably going to have to score at least 28 to beat the Patriots. And I just don't think they're going to be able to do that. I understand the Patriots may give up some big plays every now and then. And their defense may be a little bit suspect, but it's really kind of a bend but don't break. I think it's going to be good enough to contain the Titans' offense. I do like the Patriots to win this one on the road. Next game. I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts at home to defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, Indianapolis right now, it's hard for me to, anyone really probably, or most people, to envision that the Colts would actually be playing better right now than the Jaguars and would actually be the team many may actually pick to win this particular game. Indianapolis has averaged about 38 points per game over their last 3. They've won their last 2. And, Andrew Luck is like 23 touchdown passes. He's playing very well. You have Darius Leonard, who's leading the NFL in tackles right now. He's done a standout job. The Jacksonville Jaguars right now, that Vaughn defense has just kind of dissipated and it's dwindled away, I think, at this point. Jacksonville has lost 4 consecutive games. Who would have thought this team that went all the way to the AFC title game, played a very close game with the Patriots, would be really at a point where they just really look so abysmal right now. They've lost 4 consecutive games. They've been outscored 114-46 over that span. So in those 4 games, they've only averaged 11.5 points per game in that span. The offensive line definitely needs to play better. Jalen Ramsey, hopefully he will be playing well and not just talking. And in this particular game, though, the Indianapolis Colts being at home and the way their offense has been really flowing lately, and Jacksonville Jaguars defense struggling, it's hard to go against the Colts. I'm going to take the Colts to win at home. Next game. I'm going to take Kansas City at home to beat the Arizona Cardinals. Kansas City is 8-2 at home since 2017. Obviously not just a formidable team, but a formidable home team as well. They're averaging like 36 or 37 points per game. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes, of course, is an MVP candidate. You have Kareem Hunt there. There are just not enough superlatives to describe this offense. Now, Kansas City, obviously their defense is a little something to be desired, and Arizona might make it a little closer and something because of the suspect defense of the Kansas City Chiefs. Arizona just 4-7 on the road since 2017. They're only averaging about 14 points per game. And, the 2 wins they got are against the 49ers. They're also, Arizona's dead last in time of possession right now. Kansas City, I think, is going to have a field day with the possession time. I think I could see the offense getting a ton of possessions in this one, and I do see Kansas City winning this one relatively easily. I like the Chiefs at home. Next game. I'm going to take the New York Jets to win at home over the Buffalo Bills. These 2 teams' offense are both anemic, to say the least. The Jets, right, well, at least lately with the Jets and Bills. Now, the Jets, overall, they are averaging 22 points per game, and they're averaging more than Buffalo. It's part of the reason I'm going to take them in this game. But these two teams, I mean, the Jets have 20 giveaways, the Bills 22, and the Jets have been outscored 74-33 in their 3-game losing streak. But their offense is just a little bit better than the Bills, I believe. The Bills right now are averaging about 11 points per game, just 1-4 on the road. But the one thing that Buffalo has, a lot of people may overlook, they are number 3 in the NFL in passing yards allowed per game right now, and the pass defense can make this game competitive, coupled with the fact that the Jets are struggling on offense lately. But I do like the Jets to win this one in a close game. Probably not an exceptionally high scoring game, but it's still, I like them to win in a close one nonetheless. So I'm taking the Jets at home. Hold on a minute, people. Sorry about that. I'm back. Anyway, well, the next game, I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win at home over the Washington Redskins. Maybe there'll be some Fitzmagic in this game. I expect Mike Evans to play very well, receiver on their team. The passing, I mean, right now they are they're number 1 in passing yards per game, but number 32 in scoring defense. Tampa Bay has allowed 22 touchdown passes. Give Washington a puncher's chance. Washington is just very erratic and sporadic. We don't know who's going to show up. I know Tampa Bay has not played well in recent weeks, but Washington is ravaged with injuries. They have lost 3 straight. They lost 3 starters last week. I mean, they did lose last week. They did not look impressive. Oh, they were at home against Atlanta, and they were just, I mean, trounced. And now they got to go on the road against Tampa Bay after losing a game at home that I think many thought they actually had the potential to win. It's just not a good, thing right now with them. I think right now, I mean, I'm going to go with Tampa Bay to take this one at home. It'll probably be a close game, but I still like Tampa Bay to win this one at home. Next game, I'm going to take the LA Chargers on the road to defeat the Oakland Raiders. You look at the LA Chargers right now, they're averaging 27.5 points per game. They have won 5 consecutive games. They have been on a rampage right now, 3-1 on the road this season. They're number 6 in rushing yards per game. Running back Melvin Gordon may have a very strong game in this one. Oakland right now, they're dead last in rushing yards allowed per game. The defense has just been absolutely deplorable and horrific. Oakland is giving up 144.5 rushing yards per game. And they just have 7 defensive sacks, and it seems like they've been stuck on that for 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, to me, it's like their pass rush is just almost non-existent. It should give Philip Rivers a lot of time to bide and to be able to complete a number of passes in this one. I expect a very strong offensive game by the Chargers. And Oakland, left tackle Colton Allen is questionable, his status, so it's really like adding insult to abject misery for this Oakland Raiders team. They just seem like they're in disarray. They don't have a lot going for them. They only put up 3 points last week against the 49ers, and I really don't know if they're going to put up much more in this particular game. So, I mean, if you can't get 20 points in this game, you can't against the Chargers. You won't win, and I don't even think they can get that many. I like the Chargers to win in this one. Next game, I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers at home to win over the Miami Dolphins. You look at Green Bay, and obviously, I mean, there's a very strong disparity in how they play at home in contrast to on the road. They're 3-0-1 at home right now. They are, of course, they're undefeated at home. They've scored about 27 points per game at home. They have 25 defensive sacks. The defense has been somewhat unheralded, but they do have people that can get to the opposing team's quarterback. Miami just managed 13 points against the Jets last week. I mean, I know they won the game, but Miami is just 1-3 on the road. You only put 13 points up against the Jets. How are you going to be anticipated to do much better against the Green Bay Packers? I just don't see them really scoring a lot of points in this particular game. And I think Green Bay right now, I mean, they could be playing for their season practically right now. They have struggled in recent weeks. They lost a couple games on the road that were very tough. They won to the Rams that could have gone either way. And then they played the Patriots well for about 3 quarters, and they let it get away in the fourth quarter. Some miscues or what have you led to New England winning. I think Green Bay, I mean, there's going to be some urgency in this game for them. I like Green Bay to win at home. Next game. I'm going to take the LA Rams at home to defeat the Seattle Seahawks. Rams right now, perfect 4-0 at home for 2018. Now, Aaron Donald was apparently neutralized last week. I don't think it's going to happen this week. I think a lot of the reason the New Orleans Saints won was attributed to that. Seattle actually has been a very good road team since last season. They're 8-5 on the road since 2017. They gave up an inordinate amount of big plays last week. It's just not a good sign. I mean, they did it last week against the Chargers. I think it could very well, history could duplicate itself in this particular instance. The Rams are going to be a little bit angry because of they lost the game last week, and it ruined their right at that point. I mean, it gave them their first loss of the season, and they were undefeated going in, of course. And right now, I mean, they don't plan on losing 2 in a row. So, and they are going to be home. So I do like the Rams to take this one at home. Next game. I like the Philadelphia Eagles at home to defeat the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, right now, Philadelphia Eagles are actually #1 in time of possession. They're also #2 in rushing yards allowed per game. They're coming off a bye. They're going to be rested, and they've added wide receiver Golden Tate. You look at the Dallas Cowboys, okay, running back Ezekiel Elliott needs to get touches more consistently, more in the latter part of the game. Dallas comes off a loss last week to the Titans that not many people really anticipated coming. I mean, the 14-point loss that Dallas had was their worst coming off a bye since 2004, I believe. And I mean, and to lose like that in the fashion they did at home. You look at this particular game, you're looking at, they have a very good rushing attack, Dallas with Ezekiel Elliott, but that run defense, I think, for the Eagles is going to be a little bit stronger. I think they're going to contain Ezekiel Elliott. I do like them to win this one at home. Last but not least, well, this has been Ambivalent City. I've been going back and forth with the 49ers and New York Giants, and 49ers are at home. I'm going to take the 49ers reluctantly in this one to win. This could very well be the toilet bowl game this week. You look at the 49ers right now, the one thing they do have going for them that's very auspicious is their running game. They're #4 in rushing yards per game. They had 143 rushing yards last week. And the Giants are number 23 in the league in rushing yards allowed per game. And you look at Eli Manning, the Giants they've been sacked 31 times this season. They've lost 5 consecutive games. This team right now just can't really do many things right. I know the 49ers can't really either, but at the same time they are going to be at home, and I don't know what's going to be happening, if they're going to be putting that new quarterback in again or not. He played very well. I mean, he flourished last week. He plays if he's playing this game, he plays like that again, they will they have a very good chance of actually winning this game against the Giants. And I do like, just with the 49ers running game especially, I do like them to win at home. I think the Giants offensive line is going to have a hard time again in this game, I believe. I know it's the 49ers, but still, I think Eli Manning's going to be pressured a lot, and I think it's going to be very, very hard for the Giants to win this one on the road, actually. I'm going to take the 49ers to win this one at home. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment. For my picks and analysis for Week 10 of the 2018 NFL season. And until next time, people, Edwin Leonard saying stay well.